ayahuasca comes in number one. Someone try to stop me.
You can't go and put your team top 3 every fucking time you win a game.
Number one, your number one power ranked motherfucking team, and this motherfucking bitch is Gary the Chemist. We fucking coming. We coming. Cooper motherfucking Cup, baby. He's back.
What the hell is cooking?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Gary the Chemist here. Happy Wednesday. It's been a while. I miss you. How you been? How's the family? Gary the Chemist, manager of the Ayahuasca Chemist, your commission, the greatest around. Need I say more? Need I say more? We got a special edition today. We're gonna make things a little quick. We're gonna stop doing this one by one power ranking because we're late in the season, and at this point, we already kind of know
they are who we thought they were.
Who everybody is. So let's just get to the week recap. Yeah, we got the hooks out, and ladies and gentlemen, there you go. In the green outline is the bets I got right. In the red is the ones I got wrong. As you can tell, it was a good week for your boy. We're back up to 500 for the against the spread. Gary the Chemist taking on a 30-point win. Couple of poor decisions by the kneecap collector himself. Great Gatsby taking on a big win. Another one. Whew, he's been on a roll, ladies and gentlemen. He's been on a roll. And then the Dirty Burt. What a fucking performance. Oh my God. Taking on. This guy's climbing. He started the season hot, and you know what? He's coming back with a vengeance at the late end of the season.
Ultra Skull Fuck.
I had to give it to him. I had to give it to him with the Ultra Skull Fuck. Cheers to you, my friend. F the median with a 20-point win. Cincinnati like a 28-point win. Go Pack Go with a 20-point win. I don't remember offhand if all of these teams were favorited, but they were all favorites. But I believe they might have been. I think the Cincinnati were a pick 'em. But you know what? The good teams are making it known that the good. The bad teams are making it known that the bad. A lot of them are just terrible, just trash. That's it. Power rankings tiered.
Power rankings.
I am the chemist. And with that said, we're going to be doing tiers. We got 4 tiers, ladies and gentlemen. I'll introduce you to them. Let's go to the first tier.
Toxic waste.
The toxic waste. These guys, the uranium. The ones that are they're done for. They're sitting on the bottom of the barrel. No one's getting close to them. You don't want to touch them. They're trash. They're toxic. They're absolutely booty. There you go. So cop off my Hawk and the Mighty Wombats. The Mighty Wombats, he's going to give people a run for their money late in the season here. His team is good. I think that, his team is playing like it could be better. I imagine he might get the majority of his wins on the tail end of the season here. Christian McCaffrey coming back. And then, you know what? Eckler's been a nice piece for him, too. And then cop off my Hawk. He's... the injuries. Rashad White's been trash. He had to rely on MVS, who actually did pretty good. He was an absolute
dog
last week. But there you go, ladies and gentlemen. At the bottom of the tier, the uranium, the cop off my Hawk, the Mighty Wombat, the toxic way. Let's get to the next tier.
Reactants.
The reactants. Represented by the wonderful element of sodium. Good old Na. Now, as you guys know, with sodium, it can really kind of like it's in a lot of reactions here. Okay, they got these teams, the reactants, these 4 right here, Go Pack Go, F the medium, Rage Quit Season, Barbecue. They got some nice pieces, but they're missing something. They're just sitting there, but they don't got anything going on yet. They haven't really hit what they needed to kind of get going. So with that said, Mr. Go Pack Go, he's got a couple of pieces, but no depth. It feels like it doesn't feel like he's got Saquon, he's got Gibbs, he's got Love's played well, he's got Metcalf back, and then the Flowers up and down, and then the rest of the side he's got to hope for guys like Javonte. I mean, he's so up and down. Can you trust him? He's got Taysom Hill on the bench. Can you trust him? I mean, he's due for big games a couple times a week, but that's about it. And he's got Xavier Worthless on his bench. And then the other teams right there, F the median, a guy who really kind of like bounced up and down the middle of the pack here. Not really a lot to get excited about. Yes, Cedric Tillman's been playing well. Jaden Reed is a guy, and there's an interesting stat that when they lose, he plays ridiculously well. When they win, he plays like, I think he's averaging like 30 yards when he plays. He's hoping that Terry Debo can kind of come together for him to kind of give him a little bit of a run. Next on that is the Rage Quit season. Again, a lot of nice pieces here. Joe Mixon might be the guy the rest of the way. I don't know. Tennessee's been having a pretty, overall, outside of the Lions game, they keep shit close. Maybe they'll play well. Taylor, now the Richardson back. Is he taking those goal line touches? We got to see how it goes. Tony Pollard coming off a bad game as well, and he continues to start multiple tight ends. It's concerning. And then there you go, Mr. Bye Week, sitting at 10 and 12. He's another guy who a couple of nice little additions. One of the key things like Tracy and Dobbins were solid picks, but with he's Mark Andrews been up and down. Christian Watson, he was on the bench he was on waiver wire in a lot of leagues last week, but he's coming off a good game. They started Lockett. He's still got Singletary on his team. He's hoping Mike Evans comes back, but it's not enough there to make him competitive. So for that, one of these guys might sneak into the playoffs, but it feels like a lot of them have a lot of work to do. Let's get to the next tier.
Catalyst.
There we go. Smaller tier. The Catalysts. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Represented by the wonderful Platinum. As you guys know, some of y'all have not taken chemistry probably in a bit. It's typically used, you guys remember that little lab you do in chemistry lab? You kind of throw a little bit of a platinum little rod and the little beaker and whatnot and hope some shit happens right on it as it kind of like plates it. But there you go. These are teams. They got pieces and they can go off. But it feels like they just need they need things to go right in the right moment, but they can absolutely pop off. So let's talk about number 4, myself, down, I'm 16 and 6. I'm no longer the top ranked, scorer. It seems like, I believe it was the Great Gatsby had passed me up. Might've been Dirty Bear, forgetting. Either way, still number 1 in the records though. We got plenty of nice pieces. We're hoping Kyron Williams can start picking it back up. I know Puka's come back. I know Cooper Kupp's come back. But, he's just been a
dog.
He was a dog most of the season. And then Montgomery,
He's a dog.
Man, he just continues to score for me. I feel like at wide receiver, A.J. Brown's going to be one of the best guys down the stretch. He's been playing well, and then Trey McBride playing well. We got plenty of pieces, I feel like, in the depth that can plug and play here. One thing that does hurt is the Deontay Johnson trade. And Brian Thomas is good. It's kind of been up and down. I think that there's a little bit of promise last week. I feel good about him the rest of the way. And then the Great Gatsby right there. Big pieces. Derrick Henry, Jalen Hurts. Jack Smith has been playing well. Brock Bowers. But when you go down his team, you get into the bench. And then Jamar Chase, of course. So big, absolute, just huge guys. He needs them to kind of be on. If they're on the same page, it's hard to fight him. It is really hard to fight him. Next, we got the Kneecap Collector. One guy who was pretty high in my power rankings early in the season. He's got nice pieces as well. Tyreek Hill coming off. Tyreek Hill. No, it was Taysom Hill that had a crazy game. Tyreek, though, he could be coming back. Coming off a game where he's finally starting to hit that 20-point margin he's looking for. He left J-Mo on the bench last week. J-Mo, again, another boomer bust kind of guy, but when he's on, he's on. So those are the 3 in the Catalyst tier. Now, let's go to the very top, and y'all probably know the Noble Gases, ladies and gentlemen, represented by the Noble Gas Neon. Bright, inert, doing well. These teams are some of the cream of the crop, hitting their stride down the stretch here. Now, let's talk about number 3 first. The guy who's dropped 2 spots in my power rankings, but I look at his team and I just love it. K9 and James Cook are 2 guys. Production. JJ, Justin Jefferson. I think Marvin Harrison is one of those guys where the name sounds better than the production, but he's still been a solid wide receiver 2. Kittle might be the best tight end to have down the stretch. Jawan Jennings really coming into the fold here. Now, I don't trust Keenan, but could he have guys like Xavier Legette come up? Who knows? That said, because of that, I think he's a real strong team sitting at number 3. Number 2, Dirty Burt. Dirty Burt, he's been playing well. Devon Achan coming in nice and hot. With Tua back, the offense is clicking. Amon-Ra St. Brown, Cooper Kupp, T.J. Hawkinson. These are, and then George Pickens, man, I'm loving what I'm seeing out of George Pickens lately. He's just one of those guys that you throw it up, he's going to come down with it, and Russ trusts him. And of course, I'd even have to mention the guys that are kind of sitting on this bench right now, kind of waiting to come back in the fold here. Alvin Kamara, and then Keon Coleman's been hurt, but Kyle Pitts up and down. It is what it is. That said, a fantastic team, and Bo Nix has been one of the biggest. Where the fuck did that come from? Oh my God, Bo Nix. He's been one of the best quarterbacks in fantasy football. And then number 1 in my power rankings, 13-9 on the season, a big win. Still sitting in the middle of the pack in the standings, but I like what I'm seeing. The noble gas of noble gases, Cincinnati Lights, led by Kyler Murray, Bijan Robinson. He's hoping that he can continue to get good play out of Chase Brown and those receivers. Could we see now with the Italian man himself, Tommy DeVito, can he start feeding neighbors like he should be? Nico, he's going to be a top 10 wide receiver down the stretch. He's just too talented not to be. Okay. And then a couple of guys who can, T. Higgins coming off another big game. I love T. Higgins. When he plays, he's an absolute boss. Now, this man has 3 tight ends on his roster. I don't know what he's planning on doing with all that, but an absolute stud of a team. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen, from 12 to 1. At the very top, the noble gases of noble gases, Neon, the Cincinnati Lights. It kind of, a little. I just realized that's a good little fit right there. Cincinnati Lights hitting that Neon. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. You're welcome. Enjoy the rest of your day. Have a great Wednesday. And don't forget that you guys can all go fuck yourselves. Bye-bye.